I do have to apologize in advance. We have been running into some technical difficulties on this cast because technology is a fucker. So bear with us. Sorry. Doesn't really matter.
I mean, if you listen to it on Spotify or the Apple podcast or whatever, it's going to sound great.
It's going to sound perfect. Like, the audio is going to be fantastic.
Yeah,
it's
the audio is great.
It's a video that we're having problems with.
Yeah,
we're going to be real with you. Fucking computers and shit. Well, shall we?
We shall.
All right. It's going to be another late night cast.
Yes,
but
sir.
Here we fucking go. All right. Welcome back, everybody, to another exciting, exhilarating episode of Vikings, Outlaws, and Cowboys. I'm the Jarl, and I'm joined by my co-host, The Boat, as always.
What is up, gang? How are you? I'm feeling good. How's the internet world?
Yeah.
Leave your comments down in the comment section.
Yeah. Do that whole like, share, and subscribe thing, right? We'll just get that out of the way early.
Get that out of the way. We're going to say it like 9 more times, but still.
Yeah. But we're both feeling really tropical tonight.
Very.
I don't know why, but it just ended up being a thing.
Well, it's episode 60, so I feel like that we should have dressed as like retiree 60-year-olds.
Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Right. Yeah, so.
We like accidentally fell into this.
We're
like,
playing the part right now.
Yeah, like you get to show off your not spaghetti, but your tattoo. So that's cool.
I was gonna do it up to the neck, but I thought
you can't, dude. Yeah,
what the hell?
Yeah,
we're in Florida, right?
Yeah, somewhere. I got like machine gun luau on my shit. You know.
Oh, that's right. You got one of those fancy ones from the place, huh?
The old Dixon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't say enough about them. I love them. If you don't have one, go fucking get one. They're awesome. So what are you up to, man? What are you drinking tonight?
Yeah, I got a plethora of things here, guy. I've got the same tequila that I've been working on. But this time I'm mixing it with Haterade.
A little Gator Light.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little hydration while you dehydrate.
Exactly.
I like your style.
And I have some Vizzies and some Wild Basin here, and just gonna mix it all up and see if I can't yak later on.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, it'll be a good time.
It's like a Saturday night, man.
It'll be a good story to tell.
What do you got?
Thursday at work.
Exactly.
So I got me a little JMO, a little bit of JMO and Sprite.
Classic.
It's failing me now. It's a little lower than I wanted it to be, and we might have done a little bit too much damage to that bottle of JMO this weekend. So I got to go back to the liquor store and get some Mo.
That'll happen.
But I got my trusty, rusty yellow bellies here. So I think we'll make it through.
Yeah, that's good.
And, of course, the all-present water. It's back there blocking the ladies. Let's move that out of the way.
Yeah, give the ladies some love.
Yeah, we can't. I got a lot of shit going on in here.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, all right. Let's clean up the fucking bar scene over here.
They're all set.
Shit, maybe if I zoom in a little bit, we can get some of the bar scene out of the way. What do you think?
Just leave it. It's fine.
Fuck it. It's a real show about real people and their fucking real problems, right?
I was showing a friend of mine. She showed me backstage or behind the scenes at her barber shop, and she's cleaning and doing all this kind of stuff. She's drinking at the same time, and I was like, "Oh man, I got to show you behind the scenes of the podcast later on."
Oh no!
Bottles, a computer, more bottles, and some cans. She's like, "You gonna be able to make it to drop off?"
If I don't, I'm gonna send a text message, and you gotta be there for me.
Snag my girls.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Perfect sense. So, we got a few things to cover tonight.
Yeah, we do. We got
a jam-packed fire report, which I'm really excited about.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of people to talk about on the fire report.
Yeah,
so I'm really excited.
Yeah, I got a couple I'd like to throw out there too. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and we actually have a lot of fucking fires because, this isn't just a U.S. show, although we are based in the U.S. We're making it to the world now, people.
Yes, we are.
You know, and it might just be VPNs, but I'm going to pretend like VPNs don't exist, and people in like Africa and Russia are still listening, or like actually listening to us.
Yeah,
and
they are.
And the UK, of course, right?
Yeah.
So we got peeps all over, so we might as well expand the fire report. And I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
So should we jump right into the fire report?
Yeah, you want to jump into that?
Let's jump into it. I think the fire report's going to be good today.
By the way, I'm super stoked. Like I'm pumped. Like we'll shout them out on the fire report, but yeah, we'll get to that. Those guys pump me up, man.
Yeah, dude, I'm so jacked right now. So and like you got like some more production value going up, like everybody can see. You know, we got like the fucking live newscast like rolly thing at the bottom.
Yeah,
where like
dude.
The real story is.
Yeah, where the real story is.
Yeah, dude, like where the real news is.
Yeah, playing around with this program a little bit, and I'm getting used to it.
Starting to feel a little bit comfortable. I like it. I think you should probably stick in a shirt like that all the time because you're getting a little comfy there.
Dude, I might. This is nice, man.
It's very flowy.
Me.
Yeah,
it's me. I got
like reach for drinks and things off the shelves.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like it. Well, yeah, let's jump into the fire report, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, so good news. If I and I have a tidbit of information too that I learned today.
Yeah.
Which I'm really excited to share. Good news, as always. Utah is still not on fire.
Good.
So I think Vika will be happy to hear that.
Yeah.
However, California, let's see, Idaho, and Oregon are still on fire.
California haven't put out those fires yet, huh?
Yeah. Canada,
assholes,
still totally on fire. At this point, I think that like the government is trying to smoke them out. So we're going to start seeing people like flood across the northern border because borders stop fires too, right?
Apparently, yeah.
It's really what it looks like. You know, the fire mitigation on borders is incredible.
I mean, as long as they're digging trenches, I think that'll be good. Yeah.
Mexico, you guys are still in the clear. I don't know what the fuck you guys are doing, but
they are bringing it home.
You know, but there's a whole lot going through the Midwest. So we got a lot of fires in the Midwest. So watch out, peeps. Okay. Make sure that you got, the sprinkler on the roof for your watering your lawn.
Hose down your lawn, hose down your cars, hose down your dead trees.
Yeah, hose down your hose.
Keep it all wet, man. Keep it all damp.
But so you brought up the fires in Africa, right?
Yeah, a few casts ago. Are they still going on? I haven't checked.
So the thing about Africa is in Southwest Africa, there is a lot of fires. And what I learned, and the fire report is failing me now. It's just okay. It's back. What I've learned about Southwest Africa, in specifically, is that the winds whipping off the mountains in Southwest Africa actually help fuel the in that area.
Oh, really?
So Georgia Tech did a study on it, and it's talking about the aerosol effect of fires in Africa.
Wow.
Yes, I'm learning so much about fire inadvertently through this fucking fire report.
Dude, you gonna try out for your local fire department?
Dude, no.
Just administrative.
Administrative. Yeah, I will tell them where the fires are at so they can go put them out.
Put them out, yeah.
And tell them the science behind why the fires are whipping the way they are.
They'll love that.
They'll just be like, shut the fuck up, dude. You and your stupid Hawaiian shirt.
Shit. Like, this is my work shirt, man. With my name tag on it.
Right, but I would have never thought that the environmental impact of those mountain ranges in Africa are what's really lighting it up. Because Northern Africa is quiet. It's the southwest and the southeast of Africa, and the winds are just kicking their asses.
Now, are they just coming off the ocean or what?
No, off the mountain ranges there.
Yeah,
I'll have to dive a little bit deeper into the Georgia Tech study and figure out exactly, like, at some point we'll get there, but this is, all half-assed and half-baked. So I didn't get a chance I didn't realize that there was that many fires. And
I think we're bringing more to the audience on our fire report than they even expected. So
right.
Cheers to that.
I feel like we're really bringing fire awareness to the world here. Good job, UK. You guys have like one fire. And Spain, again, fancy Mexicans. There's like no fires there either. I don't know what's going on, but
what about Italy? Last time I checked, they were having some fire issues up there.
It's mostly volcanoes, not really like a lot of fires.
Weird to me because it seems like it's just a little bit of land surrounded by a lot of ocean.
Yeah,
I don't know why they would be having fire issues.
There's like a solid fire going on outside of Rome, and it's probably set by some tourist playing with matches. Probably American.
Probably American. Definitely American. For being honest.
Yeah, I mean, we start fires. We like to play with matches.
Yeah, we don't not.
So, there's some shit going on in the world when it comes to fires. But nowhere is near as hot as Africa and Canada right now.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah. Like, you don't think of Canada and you're like, that's hot.
You think it's just cold, snow, and trees.
Yeah, you better watch out if you're going to Canada. I hope you're listening to Vok and the fire report.
Yeah, steer clear of the fires in Canada because they're hot.
If you're driving to Canada, watch out, folks. But anyway, one of my favorite portions is adding people to the fire report. And we get the pleasure of giving them the specificity of good or bad.
Right.
So let's start with the good people on the fire report. Why don't you lead us out on the good for the fire report?
I'll shoot the J. Lately my fire report people have been political, and I'm going to keep it going that way. First up is RFK endorsing Trump. That was pretty cool. We're jumping on the squad. What I thought was even cooler, which was kind of I think it was a tactical move, was to not get off the ballot completely.
Yeah.
And so he's kind of stealing votes from Kamala, which, I mean, he also might steal some votes from Trump, but not enough to, I don't think, derail him, obviously. But
what was really smart, because he took his name off the battleground states.
Yes.
To be specific. So he's not really draining the vote, but man, his speech, he was spitting fire in his speech.
Yeah, he was.
I hope he's got good security. He's going to have to talk to the Blackwater guys about bumping up his security because.
Well, didn't they, because he got off of the battleground states, didn't they take off his Secret Service protection?
They never gave it to him the whole time.
Oh, they never gave it to him.
He was refused Secret Service the whole time.
That's lame, man. The other one I have, which is rare that I even kind of pay attention to him, but Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart?
Yeah, dude. He did a whole bit. If you guys haven't seen it, go on YouTube or go on TikTok. And he did a whole bit on the DNC, and it was absolutely hilarious. I don't know if he's swinging toward the red side, but he's always kind of been a blue guy or else somewhere in the middle. But I don't know, man, the way
he's not happy.
Yeah, the way he slammed and jammed, it definitely deserved a fire report shout out. And if I can find the clip and without copyrights, I'll put it in.
So I gotta give kudos. I talked about the founder of Eric Prince, the founder of Blackwater, the private security company.
Yeah.
They actually put him in front of Congress, and he ate the Secret Service alive.
Really?
Yeah, it was absolutely terrifying to watch because of all the things that he was going over, but also absolutely necessary to see. So if you haven't seen it, you guys should go check it out. He really kind of blows apart what the Secret Service has done and is doing in comparison to how the private contracting world works and just their inefficiencies.
Wow.
It's pretty wild. He blows them apart in front of freaking like C-SPAN. Was really interesting the other day.
I mean, it sucks because I know that, a lot of those agents are made up of, veterans and stuff like that and ex-military. So, and I'm sure that they're not doing a bad job. I would think it's the administration given the directions.
Oh yeah.
Given shitty directions, That's
what I mean? The thing is, it's never like the guys on the ground in general that are just ass. It's always it's always the bureaucrats at the top that are not letting them do what they know that they need to do.
Well, and it sucks because it would seem like it would go like completely against your heart, you know what I mean? And what you feel like needs to be done if you're on the ground,
Right, but then they fucking fire them.
Yeah.
If you're like fucking GI fucking Joe and trying to do your job, you're going to get fucking canned. Right?
Yeah. That's not fair at all.
No, that's shitty. And that's one of the inefficiencies that he points out is private contracting, you have one job, and that is to protect your mark no matter what, to seek out every vantage point that could possibly impact that mark, that could get him or her injured or killed, and eliminate that threat.
Yeah,
and
whatever.
There's no bureaucracy in it. This is your fucking job. You do it, and if you see something, call it out. And it's not just a bunch of analysts sitting in a room and people that are going out like, well, this was our perimeter, so let's just stick to our perimeter. These guys are going out like 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
1,000-yard shot is a lot easier than a 150-yard shot that a 12-year-old can make.
Oh, yeah.
But adding to the fire report, and I never thought that I'd say this, but Zuckerberg, we're adding Zuckerberg to the fire report.
Did you see he's growing a beard?
He's trying. It's probably like implants, hair implants or something, or it's AI generated. But he actually is saying now, that he got pressure from the Biden administration and everybody that was in that administration during the first election to suppress and stop advertisements and suppress news that was contrary to them or against their campaign, and shadow banning people and everything like that. So he actually came out and said, they had me do that. So
the new question is should they put him on trial? I don't know. I saw that on a couple boards, and I don't know. I mean, I think it was huge balls of him to come out and say something, number one.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think he might be a little bit worried because I think he's just trying to get in front of it now, because it's not looking so hot for Montel's slam piece getting into office. So, he's going to have to answer at some point. So now I think he's trying to get in front of it. So I think it was more of a tactical move than a doing the right thing move.
You're probably right. I mean, they're always up to something. Always got something shady up their sleeves.
Yeah, but so if this story stays in the media for longer than a week, I'm really excited. Like, it could add fire to the fire report.
Yes,
I'm pretty stoked about that.
I'd like to see that develop a little further.
Stoked? Nothing? Fuck.
Oh. I missed that one. Sorry, guys.
Fuck. It slid right under the radar. Anyway, who else you got?
That's all I have for my guys or people who are on fire right now.
All right, I got a couple more. I have two mics live, obviously. They're on the fire report again. They went live from the Golden State Distillery.
Garden State.
Garden State. Yeah. Distillery. And that show was awesome.
Dude, and were you in the chat?
I saw it a little bit later. I didn't catch it live, so I was watching it after. Absolutely fucking hilarious. And it was like a million laughs a minute.
It was so good.
And I have to add Kelly specifically to the fire report, which I'm really excited about. And I'm paraphrasing, but she gave a statement that said, you have to be intelligent to lie. And they're all too intelligent, or they're all too dumb to lie. Like none of them are intelligent enough to lie. Absolutely fucking hilarious because she throws this jab in there, about 15 minutes into it, and it's absolutely hilarious. So if you guys haven't seen that one, you guys need to go check it out. It's funny as hell.
Yeah, I remember her saying that, and she's like, I just couldn't, because if you lie, you have to remember every single thing you said, and you're just not that sharp to remember all that shit.
Yeah, none of them are sharp enough or intelligent enough to remember all the lies that they have. I think that's why they always have so many like assistants and like assistants to assistants, just to make sure that all their lies are straight. That fucking blows me away.
Oh man,
it's got to be just a grueling task to be like the keeper of the lies
for the government, for the D party. Yeah,
it's got to be rough for somebody. I feel sorry for that guy or gal.
No, he's constantly got to be writing shit down or recording something or something. Yeah.
Right. And like, I wonder if they even know that they're doing it. Like if they know that that's their job. You know what I mean?
I doubt it.
Like, because
like the chief of lies.
Like Kelly said, like it takes a certain amount of intelligence. I don't know if they have the intelligence to realize that that's what the fuck their job is.
Well, who the fuck has time to try to remember a bunch of lies? You know what I mean? Like by yourself. So if you just spit out a bunch of lies, like how are you going to remember that? How are you going to write it down? How are you even going to give a fuck about it later? You know?
Right. Well, and like there's something to be said for the veteran community, including myself, about like TBIs and stuff like that. Is you don't really get a whole lot of liars in the veteran community because we've all been hit in the head so many fucking times. It really does us no good to lie. Yeah. Because we're going to fucking forget.
Yeah. Case of CRS.
Yeah, exactly.
What the old man used to call it. Yeah.
But last but not least, I have to add our new flavors to the fire report.
Ooh.
I think we got over 500 bottles bottled tonight of one of the new flavors. I'm not going to tell you. You guys are going to have to go on the website and see. And thanks to our cheeky compadre over here, Bearded Viking is rolling across the bottom of the screen right now. So go to the website and check it out. And there's going to be new swag, new bottles, all kinds of new shit that you can buy by the time you guys see this.
Mm-hmm. Brought to you by Viking.com.
So go check it out.
Yeah, I got some numbers from JT earlier, and he said this is crazy. This is a number that threw me for a loop. 10,400 bottles have been bottled since May 3rd. That's insane, dude.
It's a lot of fucking bottles.
That's a lot of bottles. Between him and our one lovely employee down there, they've done 2,600 alone just by themselves, which that's huge. And that means a lot of blood, a lot of sweat, a lot of cussing in that meadery. But cheers to them, and they are on fire for for pumping it out like it's nothing, man. I mean, we went up there and we did a bunch. I don't know. I can't remember how many
I think
we did.
we ended up doing like 5,000 bottles or something, or 4,000 bottles while we were up there. And we had a crew of like 6.
That's the thing. We had a crew of like 6, and everybody had a job, and everybody was on point, and everybody, you know, we got it working like a well-oiled machine. But that was like a crew of 6, man. And they busted
it was
half
like
of that with, you know, with less than half of the crew that we had.
Yeah, it was like it was like a Henry Ford assembly line when we were up there.
Yeah,
so,
it was.
I mean, they were pounding it out for sure.
Yeah,
that's why they're on the fire report. I agree. They've been nailing it. So kudos to those guys. You guys have been rocking the socks. And that's the end of the fucking fire report. That shit was hot. It was quick. And now it's over.
Now we're out. I love it, dude. I love it.
You know, sometimes the fire report is just quick and it's hot. So
it was
all you can.
It was super hot tonight. I love it.
Yeah, I kind of, you know what? You remember the cue cards that David Letterman used to have?
Yeah, you want to just
throw them through the window? Yeah. I need cue cards that I can just start throwing through the fucking thing, you know,
do that.
Shatter the glass.
Yeah, I got a sound effects board. We can make it real fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get like those index cards so I can like flip them somewhere.
Yeah, do it.
Then somebody will like zoom in on the video and see like that I write in retard. Be like, look what the Jarl did.
Hey man,
blow this shit up.
As long as you can read it, doesn't matter.
That's kind of my thoughts, right?
Right.
If I'm gonna write you a letter, I'll type it. Okay, we'll use spell check.
It needs to be official.
Yeah, exactly. If it's on official Bearded Viking letterhead, watch out.
Watch out.
So let's jump into men's mental health. The MMH.
Let's do it.
So we didn't give a rundown. So everybody's going to learn about this at the same moment as everybody else, right? So
yeah, while we get.
Yeah. So I broke away from tradition. I don't think it's bad. I think that it's still going to be a fun show, and we have a few good things to talk about. And one of them is, it's a really hard question, right? And it's a self-reflective question. And it's, are you happy with who you've become and what you've become? And I think that's a hard question sometimes to answer and maybe feel good about sometimes. So are you comfortable? Are you happy with who you've become?
Yes, I am. I mean, there's obviously been some bumps in the road. And this sparked from an idea about, you know, what I wanted to be when I was, 5 or 6. And then what I wanted to be when I was like in my teenage years. And then what I wanted to be in my 20s. And then what I am now, just as far as profession goes. And I think, yes, I mean, there's been, like I said, there's been some bumps in the roads and some derailments and stuff like that. But it was all learning. I think it was all prep for the now, giving me a little bit of wisdom. I think, back in the day, I wanted to be a pro baseball player. And then I wanted to draw. I got really into drawing. And I wanted to be a professional artist. But at that time, I knew nothing about how to be a professional artist. Nobody tells you how to do that. And then all you hear is, art degrees are garbage because you can't do anything with them,
Right.
And then,
we've even talked shit about that.
Yeah, we have.
What are you going to do with being an art history major? Good luck, guy.
Yeah, you can't do shit with it.
Starbucks.
Yeah, and maybe
bullshit
on a week, at a museum on the weekends. It's just there's nothing to do with it.
You're curating collections of other people's art.
Yeah, you almost have to go to your PhD with that so you can teach. Because that's really the only thing successfully you can do with it.
Stuck in a constant loop of bullshit.
Exactly. So then I got into my early, late teens and early 20s and still wanted to play ball. And then, TBIs happened, and, the passion got away from me. And then, worked some odd jobs and stuff, and learned how to cook, though, which is awesome. Still love to cook. Love to just fiddle around with different foods and do all that kind of stuff. That was cool. Learned how to do that.
Like you learned to cook because like you moved out by yourself, or you took like a cooking class?
No,
we made a jump there. I'm trying to get back in. Like the people need to know.
I worked in a restaurant for like 4 years.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
see,
man.
I forgot. Nobody told them, Yeah.
One of the favorites back in the day here in Salt Lake, it was called Training Table. And what you do is you would make your order from this little phones that were at each booth. And someone behind the counter, had to answer the phones and write up the orders and all that. So it wasn't a traditional like waiter, waitress type job. So the orders come in, and then obviously you just prep them like you would any other, kitchen, stuff like that. So
loved that place,
dude. They had the best cheese fries in the state for a very, very, very
so
long.
Good. Like if they came back tomorrow, they would still have the best cheese fries in the state.
I heard about 6 months ago that they might make a comeback, but I don't know. I'm not holding my breath, but it would be completely awesome.
Like, did you put in your applications, dude?
Yeah. It's like a regional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, bitches, I know how to make the cheese fries. Okay, exactly. I'm going to teach y'all, and then I'm out.
Like, do their menus.
Yeah. Right. I can make solid pictures of your cheese fries.
Exactly. But no, from there, I started as a busboy, worked my way up all the way to an assistant manager or a shift manager, or whatever you want to call it. And but during the way, you have to work in the kitchen and stuff like that. And I learned how to cook in the kitchen, and it was super awesome experience. I loved it, and there were good people that I worked with, and we had fun. And it's like that Waiting Crew, that movie Waiting. You guys all work this swing shift, and you bust it out. You clean up the restaurant after, and then everybody goes and parties until like 5 a.m, and then you come back the next day at your shift at like 5 o'clock. It was awesome, and so that was really cool. Got to have that experience like for real, but then the old man got me a job at one of the top copy places here in the state, and I weaseled my way into the art department. And then I'm like, oh, okay, now this is what I can do with the art that I've strived for, and then actually went to school for graphic design instead of art history. And that actually paid off ish.
We're working on it.
Yeah, we're working on it.
So let me ask you this, okay? Because it was kind of a 2-part question. Would like 16-year-old Bo be happy, or would he be like, what the fuck happened?
No, I don't think so. I mean, with the rest of most of my life, yeah, but as far as career goes, yeah, I think because 2 of my biggest passions back then were art and baseball, and I gave baseball the best run that I could. Had scouts looking at me and stuff like that, which was super cool. And was aspiring to play college, and then, that's when the car accident happened and stuff like that. And I lost my passion for it. And so I guess, art was kind of my second choice because I really didn't know how to do anything else. And I really didn't want to do anything else. Like I loved the restaurant. But, I worked at some manual labor jobs too that I really enjoyed. But really other than that, like as far as a skill, I didn't really have any other skill. But I was always a good artist. So I thought, well, hell, I mean, there's something here I can do something with,
Yeah, it's really pretty impressive, right? Because I can't draw a fucking line with a ruler. And then you can make all this, right? So,
well, initially too, I thought, well, maybe I'll just go into tattooing. And I really loved the thought of tattooing. I really did. And I like the lifestyle. They kind of have like this elusive rock star type feel to
It's
them,
fucking
right?
edgy.
Yeah, it's super edgy. Mom and dad are super pissed at you because
Dads don't like you dating their daughters.
Right. And then you're putting shit on, people that's going to last forever and people are going to get pissed off about it. But and I worked with the tattooer, real close when I was designing it at Kinko's, and he taught me a lot about the industry, like more than I felt that I should know, without actually being an apprentice.
Right.
So he's kind of like apprenticing me while we're working in there. But I just never did it. I still would maybe like to try it out. Because the machines have come so far, but there's a stigma within tattooing about the new machines and the old machines and new processes and old processes, so it's kind of a weird thing.
Yeah. I mean, you gave me my first prison tat with like a big pen, some Indian ink, and it's still on my ankle, to this day.
Dude, those were fun.
I think like only the A and the K is there still, but
those were my first, man. I've got the finger ones done and all that.
Yeah. So every once in a while I look at it and reminisce and wonder what the fuck we were doing.
And they're like, no, dude, just let me practice real quick. I got a tub of India ink and I'm just poking in the
like firing the fucking Bic pen. It was very prison movie. It was very blood in, blood out. Like, if you guys haven't seen it, check it out. You'll understand.
And it was old school too. When did I give that to you? You weren't even a teenager yet, were you?
Dude, I think I was like 10. It was very irresponsible.
It was very early on.
It was like Sam's age. And you're like, dude, don't tell mom. I'm like, okay. You're like, do you have to wear high socks? I'm like, all right, that checks out. And mom, I don't think mom ever found out about it.
I was going to say, did she ever find out about it? Has she ever seen it?
I don't think so. No.
That's funny.
And like the funniest part is like the square, because I'm a hairy kid and I'm a hairy guy, right? And like the square of hair that was like this big cut out from my ankle, that was more noticeable than the fucking Bic pen tattoo that I got.
What happened to your hair?
Yeah, why do you have no hair on your hair? I don't know. Dog ripped it out. We were wrestling. I don't know.
Scripted was sliding in baseball.
But it's like shit that only brothers would do.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like now I'm like, maybe I got taken advantage of, but it's all right. Like, I'll talk about it in therapy.
Trying to learn a skill, man.
Yeah. Like, there's no tattoo gun in sight, but
no, I needed a guinea pig.
Dude, that Bic pen really set the ink in for sure.
Yeah, it did.
I'm glad that you took the art route and not like the tattoo artist route, because I don't know,
dude, you would be covered right now.
Dude, it's scary. Like,
because I'd be like, dude, I need to figure out a new technique. Why don't you come sit in my chair?
Oh, I'd be so fucked.
You'd be covered, dude.
Yeah, like right now, all my tattoos are like Marine Corps tattoos of the time. Like not like all like moto tattoos, but like tattoos like above the sleeve,
Yeah.
Because we get away with those without like reporting them at the time. Yeah. Now I think you can have like full sleeve. Oh shit. Yeah, thank you. Sorry. Full sleeve tattoos, and nobody's like bats an eye. But back then, like, we had to be pretty like professional looking, even though we only wore our sleeves up like 3 months out of the year.
But couldn't you only do like one fold above your elbow or something like that?
No, dude, we had like rolls up to here.
Oh, okay.
You had to have like your buddy pull your fucking blouse off for you because your sleeves were so fucking tight. Like, you're like constantly pumping the veins in your fucking hand and shit. You're all fucking vascular all the fucking time.
Buy a new shirt,
dude. It was funny, like the lengths that people would go to with that shit. It was funny as fuck. And they're all ironed in and shit. But yeah, so like I still have like above the sleeve tattoos. I gotta work on that. But I have a hard time, with
that time.
I love tattoos, right? But they're so fucking expensive.
Oh, they're out of sight right now, dude.
Yeah. I mean, you get paid out the ass for being an artist. They get paid out the ass for fucking your arm up. Like,
and some of the artists are worth it, and some just aren't.
It's really hard finding the one.
It really
and
is.
That's the thing, is like, maybe I just haven't found the one,
Well, there's a lot of good artists in Salt Lake, and Utah County. Actually, there's a couple really good artists in Utah County. But really, too, now, when we were younger, it was kind of like, oh, you just go get a tattoo from somebody. But now it's like all this stuff above here is just gangly, whatever. And so, but now it's like, okay, I want to find an artist that does this specific style and will draw this for me, and it's hard. It's hard to find, a style that you absolutely love, that you want to put on your body again and sit through 4 hours of, the needle poking and all that. And really have it be worth it.
And see, like, I'm money. A fucking child. I just want to walk into a place and have there magically be the perfect artist doing the perfect styles for me. Like, doing research on it, I'm like, fuck it, I'm out. Like,
I know, dude.
I'm done with it. Like, I don't even want to now. I'm tired.
I'm
gonna go take a nap.
Some of the better artists are booked out 6-8 months, a year, and it's
I'm gonna forget about it by then.
Yeah, by the time it comes back up, the passion for it's gonna be gone. I don't know.
Exactly. Like, I'm still waiting for you to draw me a blown up Wile E. Coyote in Dress Blues.
Oh yeah.
For 15 years. So
I'm gonna put that in my notes.
Dude, I'm gonna put you on the fire report. You better fucking watch out.
Wile E.
No, but so getting back into it, it's hard thinking about where you are now versus where you thought you were going to be. I know that 16-year-old me would probably be pissed at face value.
You think?
Of what the fuck I do now. Yeah. I think
what did 16-year-old do you at that time? What did you know you were going to do for a living?
We were going to be a pro baseball player.
Yeah.
And that was it. Right. And so going through school, I wasn't a dumb kid or by any means, but I didn't put near as much energy into school as I did baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And it's I'm really no worse for wear as far as, school goes, high school goes and shit like that. But I was the same way as you. When I turned 18, turned 17, I guess. And that's how drastic it was, right? By the end of 16-year-old Al versus 17-and-a-half-year-old Al, I'm okay, things went sideways. And it wasn't because I wasn't good. It was because there was a whole lot of other factors that happened with, coaches going to jail and shit like that, right?
That kind of hinders your opportunities.
Hookers are going to hook, and cheerleaders are going to get banged. I'm not throwing any names out there. Anyway, so that kind of had an impact, right? You have your leader and somebody you look up to go to fucking jail, and then all of a sudden your head coach is gone, and then you have some other asshole that doesn't know what the fuck is going on come in. It really kind of takes the wind out of yourselves.
Yeah.
And I think that happened.
The whole program in general.
Yeah, and I think that happened for a lot of the crew that I was growing up with and playing ball with. It kind of beat the shit out of us, because at that point, his word meant nothing. So tapes and films and anything like that, or any conversations that he had with any kind of college or anything like that, kind of went out the window. They're like, okay, raper.
Yeah.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. And but really, they're good at baseball. Shut the fuck up. So that was an impact for me personally. And I didn't realize at the time that there was other avenues that I could have taken, because it's like at that age, you have no fucking idea. Anyway, you're stupid as shit. And if you don't have like a mentor or somebody that's guiding you or somebody that's done it before, which can be said in a lot of things, you have no fucking idea. And
jumping into the whole thing blind, and recruiting and the college and the trying to walk on and all that kind of stuff. It's a whole ball of shit. That's tough for an 18-year-old brain.
Right. Well, and it's like as soon as he went away, the scouts dried up. So we did get scouted when we were younger. You know, when we were, 15, 16, the scouts were all there. And then like midway through 17, our junior year, midway through junior year, scouts were gone. Senior year, it was crickets. And it wasn't because we weren't good and we weren't talented. It was just that the name was already tarnished. So
the program itself too.
Yeah, the program was tarnished. His name was tarnished. So how do you, as an 18-year-old, you don't know how to rebuild from there, right? So college of high school, summer of high school ball, a little bit of like college ball. That's it for me. Right. And it's like, oh fuck, dude, what are you going to do with your life at this point? Like, you don't have skills. Like, you know what I mean?
I should have listened.
Like, I worked at that same like copy place. Like, you got me a job at that copy place, and like it was a cool job, but I'm like, I'm not staying here.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't gonna be my career.
Yeah.
Because I can't draw, and I'm not gonna sit behind a computer every fucking day. Joke's on me.
Zing.
That fucking worked out, idiot.
Yeah. Well, slanging copies every day wasn't my cup of tea either. When I got hired on as a self-service computer attendant. So basically, I would sign people onto the computers, because back then you had to have a password.
Yeah,
to get on them.
The little card.
Yeah, and so
I was a self-service. I was a self-service copy and computer attendant.
Yeah.
Because we had like little cards, and don't get me wrong, like I loved helping little old ladies like blow up pictures of their hot granddaughters. Like that was cool, but very rarely did I ever get to meet their granddaughter.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah, so I mean that could only last for so long.
And I would hate it, dude, when we get a big job in and they have to pull everybody behind the counter and start collating or like cutting or stapling or some shit like that.
Oh, that was the worst.
I hated it. I mean, you had to get trained on everything. So you didn't lose an arm in the copier or lose fingers in the cutter or whatever. But so you're trained on it. But at the same time, it's like, this is not what I hired on for.
Yeah. No. Well, and the thing with me too is I was like, no, I really don't want to learn that, because then you guys are going to pull me back here and I'm going to have to do dumb shit, or I could just sit out here and like not,
on your little island. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what it was. It's like a little island.
Yeah.
And,
I love that.
So I knew that was my shit right there.
Yeah.
And, I met a lot of good people and everything, but ultimately that was not going to be for me. So without that guidance, without having any fucking clue what I wanted to do when I grew up, I joined the fucking Marine Corps.
Well, isn't that,
and that worked out?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're sitting here today, so I mean, I think you got the best of the Marine Corps,
Yeah, no, like it worked out. Like I can't complain about it at all. So I think, between 16-year-old me would be like, what the fuck? But 18-year-old me, like 20-year-old me, like, oh, that shit worked out. Good job, guy.
You came around.
Yeah. So, like me now, like I can't be mad about it. I'm pretty fucking happy and pretty stoked about, the day to day. But it really kind of goes back, and my, soon to be 10-year-old said something, and I think I've quoted this before. That was absolutely crushing to me not too long ago. And we're sitting at a Bees game, which is, the AAA team for the Angels. And he goes, Mom, was Dad really like that good? And she's like, yeah, he was really good. And he looks over at me and he goes, well, Dad, when you came home from the Marine Corps, why didn't you just try out for the team? And I'm like, I just kind of like looked down at my beer and my fat ass. And I was just like, that would have been a good fucking idea.
Why didn't anybody think of that?
Yeah. Never once fucking thought of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job, fucking idea guy. Where the fuck were you 10 years ago?
Oh man.
And but it's like from the mouth of babes, right? And I had never thought about that, right? I came home at 22 in like the best shape of my life. Could have ran circles around these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And like we played pretty competitively in Japan. And I was like, oh God, it just completely gassed me, dude.
Well, you played for that
and at that point
men's league too, weren't you? For a few years?
Yeah.
With being them?
Yeah, I played for that, and it was just like drunk league.
Yeah.
But we, and that was like after the ship had sailed, right? And because 20-year-old me or 22-year-old me came home and I had a wife, but I didn't have a job. Like I could have came home and done the workups and tried to try out, because they do open tryouts for, double and AAA teams.
Yeah, they do.
Never once fucking crossed my mind.
That's crazy.
Was just like, I don't know. It was my whole mind.
I don't know if it crossed my mind either for you. That's really weird.
Yeah. So I'm just like worried about beer and burrito money at this point in my life because you go from like hero to zero. My mindset is like, I got to get a fucking job because I have a wife and I just moved back into my mom and dad's house.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But like, it was a very feasible thing. Like I said before, like you come back in the best shape of your fucking life. And at that point, it's like everything was working. Knees were working. Arms were working. Like it's good to go. Right. So I'm like, that whole thought just, I was like, oh, fuck. And at that point, this is like, I don't know, it's a couple years ago. So like 33-year-old me or 34-year-old me was like, you fucking sack of shit. You fucked your whole life up because you're an idiot. Dumbass.
Yeah, but at that time though too, we could probably look it up, but I don't know how much they pay, but it's just a hair above minimum wage to play on the squad.
I wasn't making any money.
Even
so
back,
it's like,
back.
It's not like it would have fucking mattered,
Yeah.
Like, it would have been cool.
But, like 2 or 3 years in there, and then you get scouted for a big league team and go play big leagues and get a contract for a couple of years.
Well, I mean, at that point, like Trout was still getting hurt. I played center field. He played center field. He's hurt. Get called up to the big leagues, Yeah. Get called up for like 15 games. People see what you're all about. You're like, fuck it, you're in the show.
Get a nice little paycheck.
Yeah, nice little bonus for making it to the show.
Yeah.
Get to strike out with fucking 90-mile-per-hour heaters coming at your face. Fucking
The 90,000
dream.
people watching you.
The dream.
The dream.
The fucking dream.
Just swinging at that high and tight every time.
Just fucking hitting dingers. Just dingers lowing away. Just pushing shit. But, you know, it's like, it's shit that you don't think about. And, you know, this little fucking guy, I think he was 8 at the time. He's thinking outside the box, right? Mm-hmm. He's trying to figure out, Dad, why didn't you chase your dream? And I'm like, I should have chased my dream. Yeah, I'm like, you stupid sack of shit. You're just sitting here yelling at the fucking umpire, drinking beer like a dumbass, calling everybody a fucking bum when you could have been the one up there getting called a fucking bum. It would have been awesome.
You could have been up there striking out.
Yeah. So it's just, it's perspective, right? Like everything worked out.
Most definitely.
You know, I'm not making as much as a baseball player, unfortunately. But it really kind of brings it into perspective of, are you happy with where you are now? And versus, you know, where you thought you'd be. And I think that, you know, we all kind of make the way that we have to or that we need to at the time. Mm-hmm. But really, there's not a whole lot of, you know, you can't see the future. So you have to do what you have to do or what you think you have to do at the time. And really, unless, like I said before, you have somebody to kind of guide you and point you in the right direction, you know, how are you going to know?
Yeah. Then that's kind of that's the hard thing about it. You know, if you don't have a mentor or somebody guiding you along the way. And I guess that's a whole kind of perspective on life in general. You're kind of walking through it blind, you know, and it's kind of like life. I wish there was a life mentor or an adult mentor or how to be an adult. We've talked about it before, how to be an adult 101. Cause really, you know, there's nobody. I mean, our folks taught us lessons and stuff like that, but really not how to actually be an adult. They taught us how to act like an adult, I guess, but not how to actually be an adult and wind through these roads, you know?
Well, the thing about it with me too is like, they didn't really know. And I'm sure this is the same for a lot of people when they come home. You know, you've been away, you've kind of created your own man, right? And you've done the old weaveroo through life already. So it's like they were kind of like not giving advice or saying do this or do that.
Yeah.
For like good reason, right? They were just kind of giving me a break on life.
Yeah, giving you a little space.
Right. So like you didn't really get that, and it's like not really like they knew what the fuck to say anyway, right?
None of us did, really, you know.
Right. So the impact, you know, that can have on people, I think it's kind of like we've said before. It's important not to dwell on the past. It's a funny perspective to think about, like what could have been, but it's fun to think about for like 5 minutes and then just get past it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you are where you are now, and only you can fix it if it's not so good, and only you can work hard to get to where you want to be. So I think it's important to not get wrapped around the axle with what could have been and work your way into something that you want to be.
Yeah, it definitely so. And, you know, there's that whole mentality that I keep as well. And I look back on it a lot, is that you wouldn't be where you're at right now if it weren't for the lessons that you learned in the past.
Right.
You know, everything I kind of believe kind of happens on a timeline, happens for a reason. So, you know, you take all those lessons, good or bad, you know, you filter out the shit, you take the good and, you know, strive to be the best person that you can be. And that's where you are now.
Yeah. And I think that's important. I think that's a more important thing to kind of dwell on and come up with a plan to, especially, you know, the people that are listening to us. I think it's more important now where we are to come up with a plan on how you want to move forward and how you want to make that better man. And, you know, use the things that you learned from your past and, you know, that tool bag that you got from all the shit that you learned and be effective going forward. Right.
Yeah.
Because like, I can't go back. I'm not going to play baseball anymore. You know, those that can't do coach. So now I'm coaching.
Right.
I'm calling umpires bums. And I'm yelling at the teams or the players on the other team. Just inadvertently, they might catch some bullshit. But really, it's important to be able to move forward, I guess what I'm saying. And a lot of people don't. A lot of people get stuck in that. And that self-reflection, I think, is important.
Yeah, and I think that really lends itself to a positive way of thinking all the time, because like you said, if you set up a plan, actually write some stuff down. And writing stuff down, you know, it might sound lame or what do you want me to do, journal? Well, you know,
right? Gay.
Right. But it really does help because it almost makes you accountable for what you wrote down. And if you're to not let yourself down from what you wrote down. And I think that's a really important thing to keep, you know, in the forefront, you know, of thinking that you have a plan and you don't want to stray from that plan. Yeah.
And, you know, with writing stuff down too, like writing your goals down and the things you want to accomplish and everything like that, it's important to realize too that you're not always going to reach those goals because sometimes goals change after a short period of time or a long period of time. Sometimes those goals change or they evolve into, you know, new somethings, and to, you know, maybe cross that one out or put an asterisk next to that and be like, you know what, I'll get to that one later. This is my goal now. You know, and just have it like being an ever evolving business plan for your life. Does that make any kind of sense?
Yeah, make it fluid. I mean, the thing is too, is like when I got married, I thought that, you know, okay, well, here's my 5-year plan once I get married. Well, you know, it's some bumps in the road, and that 5-year plan had to change. And you know, and it's okay because, you know, you learn to, you know, go with the ebb and flow, change your plan because, you know, it's not set in stone. You can change it. You're the manager of it as long as it's staying, you know, it's progressing, you know, and progressing you to get better.
Yeah. And there's always going to be like those hiccups and, you know, those fallback positions that you have to work through. But I think it's important to realize, you know, you are in charge of your own happiness. So, yeah, fuck, I can't do this anymore. Like, this just wasn't in the cards. But now I'm doing this and realizing the things that you're good at so you can progress forward because this didn't happen. Or, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to throw it all away and I'm going to go be like a cattle farmer or some shit, you know? You know, changing in like a drastic change in direction is not always bad. Sometimes that works out the best for people.
I agree 100%. And you know that you bring up a really good point is I think that a lot of people, well, I think it's been proven, you know, by your average 9-to-5 Joe who clocks in and clocks out every day and hates his job and, you know, hates where his life's going, all this kind of stuff. It's not enough people are pursuing a career with a skill that they're really good at, you know, and not a lot of people are realizing what they're really good at and what they can excel at. they just either life took over and you never took the time to do it or something, and I think that should be a goal. Yeah. Even if you're older, because there's, as long as you're waking up the next morning, you've got time,
And I think that a lot of that comes from like the security that people have and the position that people are in. Like I would be a really good used car salesman, but I have a lot of security in what I do right now, and I might make a lot of money of being a used car salesman. But I think I'm just gonna stay where I'm at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty good. Like things are going well, and especially like for me, using myself as an example, I'm super comfortable what I'm doing. Is it like my dream job, like something that I've always wanted to do? Outside of the bearded Viking, right? I love that. That shit's fucking great. It's forever changing, but like my actual day to day that pays the bills right now, is it my favorite? Fuck no. Is it like security? Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's hard to get that up.
That's the hardest part. And it's hard for me. I guarantee it's hard for other people. So like I'm over here giving like a chase your dream speech, but I get the security part of it. And it's hard to just give it up, especially when you have, family, wife, kids. I'm just going to go fucking do this. Fuck everything. And, it could really jeopardize your relationship, your kids, your security, like all that.
1,000%. Yeah.
So that's a very scary part. And, when Bearded Viking gets big enough and we can all do the whole jump off and, throw the 2 weeks in, that'll be scary as shit for a lot of us, because, we've built up these careers in like the security and doing what we're doing. But the ultimate dream is to just do Bearded Viking things and be our own bosses and make booze and make people happy. And, sit in front of a camera and talk shit. So,
that makes me think about the other spectrum though, too, because there's another side of that coin. The position that I'm at right now, I have to dig, and work a lot, and I have to be the best at what I do every day. I can't phone it in to be able to bring home the bread. And now, are there other jobs that I could do that would be a lot easier to make money at? Sure. There's companies that have offered me jobs all the time.
Yeah,
but do I want to? Yeah, right. I have to move to Vegas.
Spread your cheeks is my concho.
Right. Website's not doing as well as I thought it would.
Damn it.
But I turn it down because I don't make the most money in the world doing what I do, but I'm happy with what I do. I can provide for, my little family, and I can't go on extravagant vacations, or I don't wear gold chains or drive a Bentley, but I'm okay with that.
Right.
So I don't have to hate my job, and I can be happy with what I do, and I can be fulfilled with what I do,
Yeah. See, and that is something to be said. There's something to be said about that. Being happy, doing something that you love doing, and, not worrying about being the richest stiff in the grave, but enjoying what you're doing and the time that you're doing it and everything. You know what I mean?
That was really good.
But it is important, and, we need to move on to the next topic. I think our timestamps got a little messed up here. But another important topic, and we kind of touched on it a little bit on the last cast, is what does loyalty mean to you? And what are the deal breakers with the loyalty? And, I gotta bring it up again. I gotta bring Mike up, Calderese. We had a chat earlier and we were talking about loyalty and what that meant to us, just completely unrelated to this podcast, and just how important that loyalty is, and kind of putting trust in people and putting trust in each other until you find out whether that person is loyal or not. And that's a tough thing, because with loyalty comes trust. And we talked about kind of loyalty within like our like family unit last time.
Mm-hmm.
But loyalty doesn't just sit in that little corner of your family unit and like your tribe. Loyalty kind of stretches out, and it has to do with putting trust in people and trying to find good people to put trust into. And that becomes really, really hard sometimes.
It really does. I think it's harder. It's harder to give that trust away, to try to build loyalty with somebody or something, than a lot of people give credit to, because it could blow up in your face at any time. And you don't know, you can't tell the future, but you're giving that trust away. And I think they go hand in hand. You're right.
Well, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good.
But like when somebody goes outside that trust and kind of breaks that loyalty, that can be absolutely heartbreaking.
Oh yeah.
Like, I know that kind of sounds like wuss bag to say, but it really can be absolutely heartbreaking, because you put your trust in somebody, you put your loyalty behind somebody, and to have them, like what we talked about last time, use you or break your trust or, not show loyalty on the other side, that can be absolutely crushing and have a real impact on, the way you think, the way you're feeling, and just really kind of sideline you for a minute. It's like a kick to the balls.
It really is. It really is. Yeah. There's no really other way to describe it. It hurts that bad. Yeah.
Yeah. And, like we talked about death a little while ago on the podcast, but I think I've had more adverse effects from people breaking my trust and not showing the loyalty that I've shown to them. I've had more adverse, reactions to that shit than I think I have like physical death.
Mm-hmm.
And that might sound overboard, but that shit I dwell on more than, the latter.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Because once you lose the trust in somebody or they break your trust, I'm always apt to give somebody one more chance, because people make mistakes, and I'm not God, and I can't, and I'm not going to act like, I determine your fate with this relationship. However, if you can't come back and be a better person, and the cycle just keeps going, and you can see this person is not, just not quality. Obviously, if you can't be loyal, if you can't, you can't hold trust for this person, then it's a blow. It's a huge blow, because like you said, I put all my trust into you. I put my loyalty into you. I put my good deeds into you. I put my good thoughts into you. I put my prayers into you. I've brought you around my friends and my family and all this. And, to break that is kind of devastating, in whatever relationship it may be. It may be a work relationship. It may be a a brother's, a bro's relationship, and maybe a female relationship or something like that. But whatever it is, it all still rings the same, because that trust is never going to come back. Even if you say, okay, I'm going to give you another chance. Well, once, that 100% trust was given and it was broken, then you're only going to give them like 90% of your trust, or maybe 80, or maybe even less than that, depending on how big of a shitbag they are. But, it's just kind of one of those things that you can't repair it. You just can't.
And loyalty is one of those things, like it goes hand in hand with trust. And, I'm a pretty fucking loyal guy, especially to, the relationships that I build, with work or personal or, whatever it may be. Like, don't fucking break that. And if you do, that's going to be really hard to come back from. And I know that, in the military world, in the veteran world, loyalty is fucking everything.
It's king, yeah.
And, just using the Marine Corps as an example, because I wasn't in the fucking Army, and I damn sure wasn't in the Coast Guard, right? Looking at you, Space Force. It's paramount in the Marine Corps, loyalty to, you yourself, your brothers, everything else, because, that's who you have. That's your fucking war family. That's your fighting family. And, we show loyalty, at least once a year to, the good old Marine Corps on the Marine Corps birthday. And there's nothing like the Marine Corps birthday. If you've never been invited to a Marine Corps birthday and you've never seen the festivities and just the brotherhood and camaraderie and the loyalty that everybody has to each other, and you could be in a place you've never been, but you walk in on the Marine Corps birthday and you are all fucking brothers and sisters, and you are all having a great fucking time, and you've all known each other for 247 years or 250 years, whatever birthday it is, the Marine Corps, you've all been brothers and sisters for all 200 of those years, 200 and some odd years of that, of that organization. And it doesn't really matter where you go. You could go to, butt fuck Egypt, North Carolina or North Dakota, walk into a bar that's celebrating the birthday, and boom, you're right back. You're right back. You have your brothers and sisters there. And the loyalty like that is just, it's insane. And these are people that you might just barely meet, but they will do fucking anything for you. They will move heaven and earth, and you will do the same for them. Mm-hmm. And getting outside of that and trying to build relationships is fucking hard. Like, I never had relationships like I did, or like I do, from being in the Marine Corps, from people here, like from when I was growing up. Like, I have some good friends from when I was growing up, but those relationships are just like battle born. And I really don't even have the words to describe something like that. And thing is like, some people are total shitbags, right? Mm-hmm. I'm speaking for the majority of veterans and, Marines and everything like that. They will give you the shirt off their back just because they know that you chewed the same dirt and, bled over, that flag and that flag behind me.
Yeah.
And that kind of just pure blind loyalty is insane to me. And I think maybe that's what I kind of seek out when, reaching out to people or talking to people, and the world is just not like that.
Well, I mean, it's such a cool thing to see. Just in general, I've been fortunate enough to be invited, to a few of you guys's, and if you've never seen it, you'll never see anything like it. Like the brotherhood, or sisterhood. I've met a lot of female Marines, and the loyalty involved, and the love involved, and the just the quiet shared experience is something that, like I said, you can't duplicate with anything else.
Yeah, and I can only speak to what I know, right?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this right now. On November 10th, whether you were in the Marine Corps or not, go to a Marine Corps birthday at a bar, and you'll get to witness it. You'll get to see the shenanigans, good, bad, or indifferent, but you will see the shenanigans happening with an amount of togetherness that you've never seen before, and it's black, white, Cuban, Asian, gay, straight, whatever. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
You will see that. And that, I think that's the kind of loyalty I look for personally, which is to my own fault. Mm-hmm. And that's been detrimental, I think, in relationships for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have that kind of perspective.
Well, what loyalty really means to me is there's a lot of things, dude. I got an really early experience with it, with the fucking Redskins.
Football with it?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what says my earliest.
I asked for your perspective.
Yeah. Right. So, I got turned on to the Redskins at a really young age. And back then we weren't doing too bad. And then we won a couple Super Bowls, and I was in cloud nine. You know what I mean? We were having a heyday, and the years go on, and they get harder and harder and harder.
And they change your name.
Yeah, but I'm still loyal to the squad. I'm still loyal to the team. I check in on them, do all that. And then after that, I was involved in gangs when I was young, and there was a lot of loyalty that came from that. And that whole thing, as big as a mess that it was, the best thing that probably came out of that was learning how to be loyal to your crew and not wavering and doing what you had to do, and all this. And that wasn't easy. You wanted to dump out. You wanted to be something without doing anything, but you knew that you had to do something to gain their loyalty and gain their trust. So there was always something like that going on. And then you came back from the Corps. We started the car club. And we took a lot of those loyalty, and we took a lot from kind of a military perspective in making bylaws and all that kind of stuff for the club, which I still hold up to this day. And that was a big thing for me because it kind of gave me a taste of your perspective on loyalty and what kind of, like you said, what kind of loyalty that you expect from people. You can't get that from everybody, and you're not going to ever be able to get that from every single person that you meet or every person that you befriend or whatever. But same thing goes. It's a great human virtue if you can hold it up.
Yeah.
And I think that, the sad thing is the people that you associate with and that are close to you get smaller and smaller and smaller because of that kind of loyalty, and instead of having, 10 or 20 or 30 people show up to your birthday party, it's your loyal 5, it's your loyal 6, or, you know what I mean? And I kind of think that, that's the same thing goes with the ebb and flow. You kind of have to almost expect going in that people aren't going to have the same sort of loyalty and give you the same amount of trust that you're giving them just going in, I hate to say that. I hate to be a don't trust anybody guy, because you know what I mean? Because I don't I'm not going to preach that. But at the same time,
be careful who you trust.
Yeah. Keep your eyes open.
You bring up a good point. You go from having a bunch of people at your birthday, right? That example, you have a bunch of people at your birthday, and then, it ends up being, 5 or 6 super fucking down loyal dudes. And I think before kind of like we started this adventure, that would have been like, fuck. Like, what the fuck, guys? Like,
yeah, like, why'd you come
fuck
to
you
my
guys? Yeah, what the fuck you got? What the fuck did I do to you? But now it makes way more sense, because it's like, no, I have the people that are closest to me, the people that I see, as my tribe, that are always there, and they show up for me. So I think that when it comes to, trust and loyalty, putting your trust and loyalty to those that show up for you is super important. And it's super important to show up for them too. And I think that's something that not everybody gets is, dude, if they're going to show up for you, you better fucking show up for them. Yeah. And I think that's very fucking important. That's if we learn nothing from this little chat about loyalty, I think that's the takeaway. To your point, is if they show up for you, you better damn well show up for them. 100%. And, and that's it.
I know. Well, on that note, it is important. It is important. And I hope that, people sound off in the chat about it. Let us know what you think about loyalty. Let us know what you think about, any of the topics, whatever. But we want to know. I know that, the majority of people that listen to us are, veterans or of sort of the same mindset that we are. But, if you have a different opinion, toss it in there, because we'd like
sound off.
Yeah, for sure. But on that, should we hear from our loyal? Should we be loyal to our loyal sponsor?
I think we should. Let's run the sponsor reel.
Hey, meatheads, meat maidens, beardos, and everyone in between. The boat here for the Bearded Viking, reminding you that our mead is the new go-to drink for all occasions. Poured out of the fridge, over ice, in a cocktail, in a slushie, or even heated up on a chilly night to warm up. Anywhere you pour it, you won't be disappointed. With front port shipping available in over 40 states across the U.S., Bearded Viking Mead Co. gives you the freedom to meet up anywhere, anytime. So snag your bottles at beardedviking.com. Gather your crew, pop the cork, pour them high, raise your glass, and shock 'em always, gang.
Welcome back yet again, everybody. We are done with the men's mental health portion, and we're going to get into the Paraspiracy Corner. And it's been renamed, so it's Paraspiracy. We don't know what that means yet, but I think it means that it could be conspiracy, it could be conspiracy, or it could be conspiracy, it could be ghosts, it could be pretty much anything at this point.
Yeah, it gives us a wide range.
Real wide berth. Anyway, so we touched on it, I think 2 podcasts now, but we never really got into it about, like, can blood make you younger? Like, if you're old, can blood really make you younger? I think that it's kind of a proven fact that it can. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, there's been studies on it. The whole ambrosia thing, and then there's that Brian Johnson. You mentioned Brian Johnson a couple casts ago when we were talking about the confessionals episode with I can't remember the guy's name, but yeah, I had done some research on him and actually saw kind of the video where he, they harvested blood from his son and then he injected it into him, and he said that, and now I guess he has a whole bunch of, he's got like a product line, an anti-aging line. Yeah, which is really weird.
It's just a bunch of semen put into lotion. That's what it is.
Or blood. And that's that's the thing that scares me. And that like, where are they getting it? What are they doing with it? I could see, like, if you wanted to try it out or whatever within your own family. I mean, I guess I could see that. And I think he was the guy also that, so he injected his son's blood into him, and then he injected his blood into his father.
Yeah.
And I guess, I was reading down to, and it was like, he said it added like 5 years to his life. I don't know how he would measure that, because, I mean, do you feel 5 years younger? Like, did your knees start, feeling better? Like, your bum knee, or, did your arthritis go away? I don't know. I don't know how they figured 5 years, but at the same time, I mean, there's there's a human aspect, like a humility, or I can't think of the word.
Is it an untapped resource, or is it a moral grounds and a moral boundary that's being crossed?
It's that's the word I was thinking about, moral. I still think it's a moral boundary that's being crossed. Don't you?
Like, I'm not going to go take a pint of my kid's blood and inject it into myself to feel younger.
Yeah, it's really,
and and that gets into a whole different conversation of morally. To me, morally, it's wrong. And then, is it just because you're afraid to die? Is it because you're afraid to get old? Is it a vanity thing? What is it? Right? Because if you're doing that, clearly you're afraid of dying. And I feel like morally, and like, not to get, too Bible thumper, but religiously, it seems wrong. It seems like something that you just should not do. Like, there's an outline to like things that you shouldn't do, like even outside of like the 10 Commandments. If it's you and I, there's the 10 Commandments, and then there's like a whole bunch of other shit. It's kind of like a guidebook of shit not to do.
Right.
I feel like that might border on, or just be one of those things that you're not supposed to fucking do.
I mean, I don't know if it's written in the Bible, like, don't use other people's blood to make yourself younger. I don't know if that's actually.
Well, it's like no blood sacrifices, no.
Yeah.
At least, on our side, the Norse, Viking pagan side is different, when it comes to that type of stuff. But it's not. You don't hear of Vikings drinking their kids' blood. It's more of like, drinking out the skulls of their enemies.
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost it's like a victory cheers, or something like that.
Yeah, it's a little different,
Well, they were, I listened to a couple other things while I was doing some research, and, a lot of the thing was these people that are doing this, and these people that have like even set this up, they're the richest of the rich. They're in that top 1 or 2%. And, I think it's scary, because it's almost like in an effort to not leave all those riches behind, they're trying to extend their lives so they can manipulate and control whatever they're manipulating, controlling further. You know,
Is it that, or is it because like they made a deal with the devil and they know where they're going, so they're trying to stay young so they don't die?
That's a good point, dude. That's a really good point.
That's the part that scares me. Is like I get it. Like people do cool shit and they make a lot of fucking money, but you know, do I think like money can buy happiness? Fuck yeah, you could do some cool shit. You could have a lot of fun. You know, like it could buy you a boat. It could buy you, beer, a cooler to keep it cold. You know, what's his name wrote a whole song about it.
Yeah, there's a whole song about it.
So, yeah, money's cool. It can be fun. Like you could have a good time, but it also corrupts at, the highest level. And if you've like made a deal if you make me this rich, and sign your soul away, then you're probably afraid to die, especially if you've seen the error of your ways.
Yeah. That's something I didn't think about. And I'm glad you brought that up because, another thing that I was listening to too, it said, these Hollywood elites are, some of the first that jumped on the ambrosia stuff. And basically,
what's the ambrosia stuff?
It's made up by, or built by a guy named Jesse Carmenson or something like that. It's basically the company that was harvesting blood and then injecting it into people, harvesting young and then injecting it for cash or whatever. And, they were harvesting blood from, young people, children to be more specific. And, that supply starts getting low. So what they started doing too is they started going to the blood banks and buying blood from them. And, blood banks, they aren't like under contract to only sell to hospitals. They can pretty much sell to whoever they want.
Yeah, I think they're like private companies, right?
Yeah, they're and so they can sell to anybody, but who's given to blood banks? The majority. Who's given to your local blood bank?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's mostly the homeless, and people who are, desperate for a little bit of money. You got to make your car payment. You're a little bit short. I've considered it. You know what I mean? I've been that short.
I could see you closer to the sperm bank than the blood bank guy.
Well, they might now because I didn't take the jab. So
you got pure blood.
Yeah, I'm a pure blood. But yeah, so you figure, I mean, it's not the top tier of society that are donating the majority of blood. Obviously you've got your O negative or double A's or whatever. I don't know blood types. But you have your
O negative that can give to anybody.
Yeah, you have your specialty ones that you can give to anybody. Which if I had that, one of those types, I would donate on regularly, but I don't. So, but yeah, so you figure, they're going at these lengths to get these blood, and it's reported. I guess nothing's been confirmed, but really kind of. The normal way of thinking is, the Hollywood elites jumped on this bandwagon like first, and they were like the first to like just suck in on it like a bunch of vampires, and it makes sense. But you figure too because and it really goes along with that theory that you just threw out there was that they made a deal with the devil. They want to stay young as long as they can because they don't want to have to cash in that check. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or cash in those chips.
Well, it's like you make ungodly amounts of money, right? And I believe that, there's definitely some people out there that did it the right way and made a fuck ton of money and, those are the people that you see that get old.
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked about adrenochrome and stuff like that before. And that's a really fucking scary thought too, that has been talked about with the political elite and the top 1% of the population, Hollywood, people like that. They're afraid to get old. And, you know, I've never been an actor, never really wanted to be an actor. But, you know, once they reach a certain age, they're not cast for, you know, the primetime roles anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's exactly where my head is going.
Yeah, like if you're going to cast me in a movie now, I'm probably not going to be the main character. You know what I mean? I'll probably be like the guy that gets shot in the first act. But these people are terrified of getting old. So did they get desperate when they were younger and they played into the whole Hollywood thing? And, you know, there's a whole lot of like symbolism and like devil worship going on. Like we see it in the Super Bowl every fucking year.
Yeah.
And we see a lot of really bad shit that Hollywood does. And I'm sure there's good ones out there, good people out there. So I'm not, you know, I don't mean to lump them all in or anything, but did they get desperate at a young age because they weren't getting the roles and then join the fold or make a really bad fucking deal? And now they're trying to stay young forever because, like you said, them chips are going to get cashed. Is that what they're worried about?
Yeah, it very well could be it. You know, another thing too is, you know, you've got, so if you're at the top 1% to 2%, like you've got more money than you could ever spend in a lifetime, just in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, and you've bought all the cool shit that you always wanted to buy. You've bought houses, you got properties all over the world. You know, you've set your family up for life. And then now what? I mean, it's really like you get bored. And, you know, out of boredom comes stupid fucking ideas. And you know what I mean?
Well, it's like once you've made like a bunch of money, it's like I think everybody like fantasizes about winning the lottery, right?
Mm-hmm.
The lottery got up to a little bit over $1 billion not too long ago.
Yeah, it was insane.
And like cash take home was like 700 and like something $1 million, like $780 million.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're sitting there laying in bed and you're like, what the fuck would I do with $780 million? Well, I'm going to buy a cool house, or I'm going to build like something cool onto my house. Like that's my thought. Like I'm going to build something really cool onto my house and like maybe build a cool cabin or something somewhere. Couple cool cars. And then I'm like, all right, I'll just sit on the rest.
Maybe like start a charity or like a charity foundation. Maybe donate to a college or something. You know, get your name on a building.
I don't even care about getting my name on a building. Like donate to charity or something like that. You know, pay for a boys' school, an orphan, something like that.
Yeah. Try to do something for the betterment of society.
Right. Trying to make things better. Right. But like, what else are you going to do?
Still, yeah. After all that's done.
If you luck into that, the lottery, right? You make all that money. There's just not a whole lot of shit that I'm going to do. Like, I'm not going to waste $780 million buying houses and shit. Like, I'm going to probably do some really cool shit to this house because I really like this house.
It's a good house.
And, buy a cool car or two. And I'm pretty much done with it. Yeah. Take care of the people around me that have always taken care of me. And after all that is said and done, I'll still have $775 million. Like, you know what I mean?
$700 million. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, once you have that amount of money, but what I'm saying is, like, did they make these fucking deals and do all this symbology because they have to, because that's what they did to make the money? And then you see interviews of people that have saying, like, yeah, I sold my soul. And
they're saying it out loud
scared now. Yeah, they're scared now. So that type of stuff, dude, I'm like, nope, not into it.
Yeah, not one bit.
Yeah, I'm not into, taking a pint of my kid's blood just so I can, like, get rid of some gray hair and live a little bit longer. Like, if I die tomorrow, I'm like, did the best I could while I was here. Just, that whole Dazed and Confused speech at the very end on the football field.
Hell yeah. Yeah, and after that, it's just kind of like, I mean, it almost comes to a point to where you just start giving it away because you set yourself up, you're done, and it's like, okay, like I got lucky, but hopefully I can, help somebody out with, some of my, my lucky winnings and my lucky earnings, and then just go from there, and grow old gracefully.
Right, and that's the thing is like, I think something like there's a crazy statistic of like how many people that win the lottery end up back in like the same job that they were in before. Because
I'm surprised you don't know off the top of your head.
I was gonna spit it out, but I've minimized the computer use because we've started to crash the old StreamYard system. So
yeah, no kidding, man.
But yeah, I think it's close to like 75-80%. The last time I looked at it.
That's absolutely insane.
It's just impulsive, poor money management. And we talk about the lottery, and like it'd be cool. Everybody's fantasized about it a time or two. But like to win the lottery, you have to actually buy a lottery ticket. And I'm really bad at buying lottery tickets, so I don't really ever have to worry about fucking winning the lottery, But yeah, I would never be one of those people that is gonna like take a pint of my kid's blood just to be younger, and it just seems morally wrong to me, and on so many levels, it's like just fucking get old, be happy, learn the lessons, and then hopefully, teach some people along the way, and maybe you'll see your grandkids.
Well, another thing too is it seems like, so, we've always been raised with the ingrained thought that God has a plan for your life, right? And we don't know what day or time that we're gonna pass on. But it almost seems like it's cheating God's plan. And when you start dabbling in that kind of stuff, then you're bound for, a fiery eternity. Yeah,
I'm not into it. I'm just going to keep believing what I believe, and I'm going to not do that. Yeah. Like fucking case closed.
Yeah, it's not.
Do I believe it's a thing? Yes. Am I going to do it? Fuck no.
Yeah.
Am I going to get robot legs one day? Maybe.
Now that would be cool. Now that'd be something that, I could get behind is robot legs or, a robot arm if mine got chopped off or something like that.
Yeah.
And I have opportunity. I'd totally do that.
Yeah. They're like doing all kinds of research now with like lizards and shit like that regrow appendages. And like animals that regrow appendages and like trying to unlock that gene and like see if they can put it into people. They've already done it to mice, where mice have regrown like arms and tails and shit like that. And
do they regrow them in the right spot though?
Yeah. It's like putting a fucking seed in like that appendage and it just fucking grows back.
It just grows back. That's so weird, man.
yeah, it's really fucking freaky. But and it like connects to the nervous system and all kinds of shit. Like it's a usable appendage, which is fucking wild. So
Super.
yeah, coming to a VA near you. Look out, boys. You know, you're gonna get some arms and legs back like soon.
Okay? You got something to look forward to, boys.
Yeah, like the fight's not over yet. But seriously, like something like that could medically help people. And I don't think it's just blasphemous as shit.
Yeah.
And
yeah, definitely.
Like something like that is very acceptable to me, especially, and like I'll never stop saying it. If you're going to spend $1 billion on war, then be prepared to spend $2 billion, you know, on the troops that come back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously we've blown that billion dollars way out of the fucking water, but if you're going to spend however much you're going to spend on war, you better fucking make sure the coffers are full enough to spend double that on the care of the guys coming back and gals coming back.
Well, and obviously that hasn't been the case.
Right. And that seems like a really good thing to put your money into.
Agreed.
You know? Mm-hmm. But on that, it's getting late. The podcast, I think, is right on point with time. And I think it's time to get the fuck out of here. What do you think?
Yeah. You're ready to shut down? Hey, by the way, yeah, we can shut down. Let's wrap up. But by the way, if you haven't been following this, or if you didn't read the title there, this is number 60. I'm excited about this because it's it's another milestone. Just, and I feel good about it. I feel good about where we're at. I feel good about where the cast has gone, except for our technical difficulties tonight. And
very rarely do we run into technical difficulties.
Very rarely, yeah. So apologies for that. But I mean, you still look great. It's just a tiny bit choppy, but
I got a haircut. But 6-0 is definitely a good milestone. I thought 50 was good. We never thought that we were going to make it to 50, much less 60. So I'm pretty stoked about it. Another 10 episodes, we'll be at 70. We'll probably do some retarded shit for that too. And I'm excited about it.
Yeah. I think this is a good episode. I think we got through some good topics, and hopefully we resonated with at least one person out there, just like we at
least one. Well, cool. Shout outs. We did some shout outs at the beginning to the the crew at the meadery, as always, tearing shit up. Definitely shout out to 2 mics. Those guys are studs. Kelly, you rock. I was really excited to add you to the fire report today. I hope you listen. If you don't, it's okay. You're still on the fire report. You got anybody to shout out?
No, man. I think we covered them all. I like putting people on the fire report because that kind of gets our shout outs out. And if people are listening and can't make it to the end for some reason, they're still getting our good shout outs in the beginning.
Early shouts.
Yeah, just showing our love across the board. But yeah, I'm going to shout out to everyone who listens, and likes, comments, subscribes, and shares. We appreciate you guys, and we hope we're hoping we can make your day better.
Yeah, you guys are the real winners because we do this for you, and we're really excited to see the following gaining. And we're getting an uptick now in views and follows and stuff like that. So keep subscribing, sharing, telling people about us. It's really exciting for us. It makes it even more fun for us that we get to reach out to more people, and we got some fun stuff upcoming. We're working hard, and with your guys' help, we'll get there. And if you want to sponsor a show, reach out, let us know, and we'd love to have you.
Hey, and also, if you have a specific MMH or men's mental health issue that either you're dealing with or you'd like to hear us talk about, or even get on and chat with us about, let us know. If you don't put it in the comments, text one of us or email us or whatever. Let us know, because we'd love to kind of dig in with you guys. And like I said, we're having a little technical difficulties tonight, but this studio that we're using now, it allows us to bring anybody in that we want to come and talk to us. So yeah, put on some big boy pants and come talk to us. It'll be a good time.
Jump on the cast. It'll be fun.
Yeah,
we want to hear the perspectives.
We do.
All right,
buddy.
Well, let's get out of here.
Ready to go to bed?
Probably not, but these technical difficulties, I'm ready to punch in the face.
I don't blame you.
Right? All right. Cheers, motherfuckers. And stay weird, beardos.
Shock 'em always, gang.
All right. And we are out.
Hey, meatheads, meat maidens, beardos, and everyone in between. The boat here for the Bearded Viking, reminding you that our mead is the new go-to drink for all occasions. Poured out of the fridge, over ice, in a cocktail, in a slushie, or even heated up on a chilly night to warm up. Any way you pour it, you won't be disappointed. With front port shipping available in over 40 states across the U.S., Bearded Viking Mead Co. gives you the freedom to meet up anywhere, anytime. So snag your bottles at beardedviking.com. Gather your crew, pop the cork, pour them high, raise your glass, and shock 'em always, gang.